Welcome back to part 2 of our Datadog training. Today we're diving into log patterns, Watchdog, and transactions. Stick around to learn powerful techniques for navigating and troubleshooting logs faster than ever. Let's get started with an intro. Next up, patterns, an ML-driven feature that automatically groups similar logs. It helps you spot common behaviors and surface outliers that break the mold. Instead of looking at logs one by one, patterns lets Datadog group them automatically, so you can focus on trends, not noise. Datadog uses machine learning to categorize similar logs into clusters, so you can see what normal looks like and spot what's not. The beauty of patterns is that it surfaces your most frequent log types, like heartbeat logs or common events, automatically. It even detects structural patterns in logs, like a common format starting with an IP followed by a specific message type or metadata. You can inspect the values inside each pattern for deeper insights. For instance, here we have done some dates for this selected log pattern. A lot of people focus only on volume, but pattern changes are where the real insights lie, especially during incidents. When systems fail, it's often due to a sudden shift in behavior, and a shift in log patterns is usually your first clue. That's why pattern deltas, logs that suddenly appear, disappear, or change, are more valuable than just frequency counts. They point to cause, not just correlation. For instance, obviously in this pattern we don't have a lot of volumes, but we can observe the volume is changing, and here we have a lot more logs than we had before. A sudden spike in a new log pattern could be the root cause you're hunting for. The same goes in reverse. If logs suddenly drop or disappear entirely, that's worth investigating too. Low or missing logs for a specific pattern can point to a failure or silent error. These changes often lead you straight to the root cause. So don't just look at patterns based on volume. Look at how the volume shifts over time. The story is in the change, not just the count. If you want to dive deeper, just click on any pattern, like this one here. Say I'm interested in 2 specific values. I can select them and choose View All, or Show Passing Rule, to auto-generate a filtered search. That creates a precise query that filters just those logs instantly. For instance, if I exclude a certain value, like Jesse, I'll instantly get a broader view of related logs, because the pattern will now surface other values that fit the remaining criteria. By default, patterns groups logs by fields like status and host, but you can customize this. You can create filters based on any facet that's relevant to your analysis. Right now it's grouped by message, which is Datadog's default, but it's fully configurable. You can switch to any facet that better reflects the signal you want to investigate, especially if the strongest indicators aren't in the message field. Watchdog is one of Datadog's most powerful ML-based tools, and it's especially useful here. When you're scanning large volumes of logs, it's easy to miss key signals. Watchdog helps you spot what matters. It highlights unusual behaviors you might overlook otherwise. Its machine learning model surfaces unexpected anomalies worth investigating. No manual filtering needed. As promised, on the analytics side, you also get Watchdog Insights right at the top. These insights surface the most statistically significant anomalies automatically. When expanded, Watchdog Insights reveal outliers, patterns that deviate sharply from the norm across your entire log stream. For example, here logs from localhost represent just 42.9% of the traffic, but every single one is an error. Watchdog flags that instantly. Even if some logs are test or noise, the point is, Watchdog detects significance, not just volume. It finds small but meaningful clusters in your log stream, patterns that would be hard to catch manually. Sometimes a tiny subset of logs is responsible for a majority of your errors. That's what it highlights. Even within scoped queries, it points you toward the highest error contributors. So always check Watchdog. It can help you troubleshoot 10x faster. That's the power of combining machine learning with observability. Let's go a bit deeper now, into transactions. Transactions let you group logs by any attribute, like user ID, batch ID, or session ID. They're perfect for tracking user sessions, tracing batch jobs, or following logs across a distributed flow. They help you see how long a process took and pinpoint which specific entities were impacted by errors. This brings both timing and context into your investigations. Let's now review the last group into option we haven't touched yet, the transactions. You can group all logs by a shared attribute, say a user ID. In this example, we'll track all logs tied to a single user. All logs linked to that user will appear in a timeline view, showing sequence and duration. You'll immediately see when the session started, when it ended, and what happened in between. Instead of filtering by status, I could scope it by host or user ID for better precision. That narrows the context to one machine or environment. In a verbose environment, this helps trace log activity over time and spot patterns, especially useful to detect loops, retries, or cyclic errors. Here, each log starts and ends immediately, indicating fast execution for each event. This may highlight timeouts, restarts, or ephemeral jobs. If I filter by user ID, I'll see a full session view for that user across the selected time range. And I can expand the range to capture more context if needed. You can quickly answer, how long was this user active? Or when did the issue begin? If the session lasted 20 minutes, you'll see that reflected in the transaction view, from first to last log. Say the first log was at 4 p.m., and the last one at 4:20 p.m. Clear, contextual timing. Other columns provide additional insights worth checking out. You'll see data on severity. Are all logs info, or do you see warn, error, or critical mixed in? This helps assess impact at a glance. And finally, log count. How many events were logged during the transaction? It might sound niche, but in the right context, it's extremely powerful. Don't overlook it. It could save you time and effort. Before we wrap up, here are a few final tips on using the Log Explorer efficiently. You can download logs as a CSV, great for offline analysis or sharing snapshots with your team. Just click and export, it's that simple. This is useful when you want to review logs without staying connected to the live instance. You can also save patterns or filtered views to your dashboard for quick access later. That way, your insights are just one click away. Need to reuse a query? Just copy it as a curl command and paste it wherever you need it in your CLI. Perfect for automating queries or debugging from the command line. Quick UI tip, you're not limited to 4 columns. Expand or remove them as needed. Add more context fields like host, status, or error type, whatever suits your investigation. For example, toggling on host instantly adds it to your log view for better traceability. And if it's not helpful, just remove it with one click. You've now covered the essentials of advanced log exploration in Datadog, from patterns to transactions. Quick reminder, parsing your logs correctly from the start makes exploration faster, especially during high-pressure moments. When incidents hit, clean logs equal faster answers. If this helped you, hit subscribe for more hands-on Datadog tutorials and practical tips. Need more help? Check out our full playlist of in-depth walkthroughs. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy monitoring.